Somewhere in the world, right now, a person is opening their eyes in the dark. They can see the ceiling, they can hear the fan, they try to roll over and nothing happens. Their arms won't move, their legs won't move, their chest feels like something is sitting on it. And in the corner of the room, in the shape of a person who isn't there, something is watching them. They are completely awake, and their body has locked them inside it. This happens to about 1 in 12 people. Probably it has happened to you. And the strangest part isn't the terror. The strangest part is that your body is supposed to do this every night, to everyone. The terror only shows up when the system glitches and lets you watch. The phenomenon has a clinical name, sleep paralysis, but that name hides what's actually happening because sleep paralysis isn't a malfunction. It's a 200-million-year-old safety feature inherited from creatures that crawled out of the ocean, and it has been running quietly inside your skull every single night of your life. Here is what we know. In 1962, a French neuroscientist named Michel Jouvet was studying cats at the University of Lyon. He had noticed something strange. When cats entered the dream phase of sleep, the part called REM, their entire body went limp, completely. Their muscles disconnected from their brain. So Jouvet made a small lesion in a region of the brainstem called the pons, and the next time those cats fell into REM sleep, they stood up. They stalked. They pounced at invisible mice. They were fast asleep, dreaming, and physically performing every dream. Jouvet had found the off switch. Every mammal has it. Every bird has it. When you slip into REM sleep, a tiny cluster of neurons in your brainstem floods your motor system with 2 chemicals, glycine and GABA, that paralyze you from the neck down. Your eyes can still move. Your diaphragm can still breathe. Everything else goes offline. This is called rematonia, and you experience it every 90 minutes, 4 to 6 times per night, your entire life. You don't notice because you're asleep, but sometimes the timing breaks. Sometimes your conscious mind boots up before the chemicals wear off. You become aware before your body comes back online, and for 30 seconds or 2 minutes, or in rare cases 20 minutes, you exist inside a corpse that you cannot move. This is when it gets stranger. Because you don't just lie there frozen. Almost everyone who has had a full episode reports the same things. A presence in the room, pressure on the chest, the feeling of being dragged or floated, or watched. A figure in the doorway, a figure on top of you, a voice, a hand. A neuroscientist named Allan Cheyne at the University of Waterloo spent 2 decades collecting these reports. Thousands of them from every continent, and what he found was that the hallucinations aren't random. They sort into 3 almost identical categories, no matter where on earth the person grew up. The intruder, a figure, usually shadowy, usually in the periphery, sometimes humming or whispering. The incubus, a weight on the chest, a hand around the throat, the sense of being held down by something with intent. The vestibular motor, floating, falling, being pulled, leaving the body. These 3 patterns show up in Japanese reports of Kanashibari, the binding spirit, in Brazilian reports of the pisadeira, the old woman who steps on your chest, in Newfoundland reports of the old hag, in medieval European reports of demons, in ancient Mesopotamian tablets describing the Lilitu. Same 3 shapes, different languages, thousands of years apart. Because the hallucinations aren't cultural, they're hardware. When you wake into paralysis, your amygdala, the threat detection center of your brain, fires at maximum alert. It is trying to tell you something is wrong. Your motor cortex is sending movement signals that get swallowed by the brainstem. Your vestibular system, the part that tracks your body in space, gets no confirmation that you exist where you think you exist. And your visual cortex, starved of data, begins generating its own. The presence in the room is your brain insisting there must be a predator because nothing else explains why you can't move. The pressure on your chest is your respiratory effort meeting paralyzed intercostal muscles. The floating sensation is your inner ear screaming into a body that won't answer. Your brain is solving an equation, frozen plus terror plus no escape equals threat, so it draws the threat for you. But here is the part nobody talks about. The paralysis itself is not the bug, It is the entire reason your species survived long enough to invent the word survival. Rewind 200 million years. Your earliest mammalian ancestors were small, shrew-sized, nocturnal, hunted by everything, and they had a problem. Dreams require the brain to fire motor commands, to run, to fight, to flee, and a small mammal that twitches and kicks while sleeping in a burrow at night gets eaten. So evolution installed the off switch, the atonia, the lock. The mammals that dreamed without paralysis didn't have children. The ones that did, did. You are descended, without exception, from creatures that learned to play dead while their minds rehearsed survival. The terror you feel in sleep paralysis, the certainty that something is in the room hunting you, is the oldest fear in the mammalian playbook. It is the fear your great-great-great ancestor felt the night the predator's shadow passed the burrow opening, and they could not move, and they could not cry out, and they had to wait, perfectly still, until the danger went by. You have inherited that weight. And here is the strange mercy at the end of it. The system works. That is what the hallucination is telling you. Your brain is reaching back through 200 million years of evolutionary memory and screaming the only message it knows how to scream. There is danger. Hold still. Do not run. Even when the room is empty and the night is calm and there is nothing in the corner at all, the shadow figure is not real. The shadow figure has never been real. The shadow figure is the ghost of every predator your bloodline outlived, rendered in the dark by a brain that does not yet know it is safe. Try this the next time it happens to you. And if you are young and you sleep on your back and you are stressed, it probably will. Try to remember what is actually happening. You are not being attacked. You are not being visited. You are not dying. You are watching a 200 million-year-old safety feature run its diagnostic. The terror is the proof that the lock still works. The figure in the corner is your survival instinct, doing the only job it has ever known how to do in a world that no longer requires it. Most nights, the system runs silently and you sleep through it. A few times in your life, you will be awake when it happens. And for 30 seconds in the dark, you will feel exactly what every one of your ancestors felt. All the way back to creatures whose names we do not know, lying in burrows whose locations we will never find, surviving nights that have been over for longer than there have been humans to remember them. Then your body will come back online. You will move your hand. You will turn on the light, and the figure in the corner, the one that has stalked your bloodline for 200 million years, will be gone, the way it has been gone every morning since the first mammal opened its eyes. You are still here because of the fear, and the fear is over now. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, when you turn off the light, remember this. The system that locked your body is older than language, older than fire, older than us, and it still works. If this story stayed with you, leave one word in the comments: mercy. I read them all. Subscribe for the next one: the science of why we cry and why no other animal does. Sleep well. You are still here.